Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big Gator. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. Right now we are covering the U.S. Open, round 1, day 2. Yes. So get in the comments, let me see what you guys are playing for tomorrow, and keep your eyes peeled for my pinned comment to see what I'll be playing as well. And make sure you do that because the slate is huge. Alright? If you guys do like the breakdown of all these matches, please give this video a like. It goes a super long way. And if you would like to get my picks as soon as I upload and help me grow my channel, you can subscribe. If you do feel generous for any type of wins that you do get from this channel, there's a link in the pinned comment as well, followed by a link to my free Discord if you'd like to join that. It's a great community full of people talking tennis, a couple other sports as well, but get yourself involved. I'd love to have you. And with that being said, how are we looking for today? Half and half for me so far. We've still got the rest of the slate to go. The main slate, which is Medvedev and Bonzi over 3.5. And the Nakashima money line. We took over 3.5 sets for Rinnekenesh and Baez. Bang. And then we took Norrie and Mahach. What happened there? Norrie just shit the bed. So, first round, volatility. I play light, and that's why. Hopefully you did as well. But we also took Manarino, money line. Got rid of Greek Sport in straight sets. So, got us out the way a little bit there. Good to see that. But without further ado, I'm not going to hold this up too much longer. Like I said, the slate is fucking huge today. I think we have over 24 matches to get into. So, let's just hop right into it. Our very first match is going to be Cameron Norrie going against Sebastian Korda. And these two have played each other 4 times already. This would be their 4th head-to-head on the hard court. Played 2 times in Delray Beach back in 2021 and 22, but they haven't played each other since the quarterfinals of Queen's Club in London on the grass, where Sebastian Korda won in straight sets. Sebastian has won 3-1 in their head-to-head. He was looking pretty good in Winston-Salem, beating the people that were most convincing. He decided not to go against Vukic. He took the whole thing, won the whole title in Winston-Salem. Good for him. But we have Cameron Norrie, who's been going through a bit of a stinker, so is this the time we take Sebastian Korda? Do we believe him here? We did see Cameron Norrie make it all the way to the quarterfinals in Wimbledon. This year, at least. So, looking at their current hardcourt records, Norrie is 8-11. Korda is 10-5. Coming back to Winston-Salem, doing his thing, went to Miami, made it to the quarterfinals there, lost to Djokovic. Looking like he's seemingly healthy. Seemingly healthy. So that's good to go with. I was a bit worried back in Winston-Salem, but I think it's going to be one of those. I don't see it being a straight set win for anybody in this one. Cam Norrie, the way he's been recently, he's going to need some heavy readjusting after that loss in Cincinnati where he just sat outside after the loss for like 30 minutes afterwards against Batista Agut. And then his loss previously was to Vukic in 3 sets in Toronto. And then in DC, he lost in straight sets to Nakashima. So, looking at the people he's been losing to on the hard courts, it wouldn't surprise me if Sebastian Korda got this win here, but we haven't seen Sebastian Korda in a major since when? We saw him in Paris. Got rid of Dartery in 4 sets, got rid of Brooksby in straights, and then he lost to Tiafoe in straights. But seemingly does well, at least in the very first round. He went against Lucas Klein, which is a way easier opponent in the Australian Open. But he did lose to Vukic as well, but he lost in the second round of the Australian Open. So, I want to take Sebastian Korda here. Might be... He's minus 215 to do so. So for the price, you would expect him to do it, but like I said, some of these prices are not going to be what they're supposed to be. We got Manarino as a dog today. Lucky us. Blanchett also won. He was plus 350 something, 4.5 on the decimal. Like, it came to me first, and I looked at the odds later. So maybe that's just the way to do it. If it looks like it makes sense to you, then just go with that. Forget what the books tell you. But it can either go your way or not go your way. So just remember that. Just remember that. All right, so next, let's get into the next one we have. Let's do Zizou Bergs going against Tseng. I can never get that person's name right. And this will for sure be a first head-to-head for the ranked 119 Chinese player going against the ranked 50 Zizou Bergs. Zizou's been struggling real hard, man. Zizou's been struggling real hard. Ever since Diallo beat him, he has not been the same. When Diallo beat him in the final in Den Bosch on the grass, he has not been the same. He has not been the same. So I don't know what we get from Zizou here. Both of these guys have been on quite a losing streak. Outside of the Fernley win that Bergs had in Cincinnati in the first round, he's on an 8-match losing streak. And same with Tseng. Outside of his Zeppieri win in Umag, he's on a 2, 4, 6, 8, 9-match losing streak. This is a danger zone match. I would stay away from it. 5-9 on the hard courts for Tseng. 13-11 for Zizou. I'm sure there should be some back and forth with sets here, being as though recently Tseng was able to take a set off of Boo in Winston-Salem. Zizou Bergs lost to Loyal in the second round. And the South Carolina Sumter Challenger against Mark Loyal. Like, come on. What are you doing, man? So, with that being said, I do lean a little bit more on Tseng here. As far as the odds go, Tseng is the favorite. I mean, Zizou's the favorite at minus 250. Now, last year at the U.S. Open, he only made it to the second round. He beat Pavel Kotov, but lost to Cobolli in 4. Bergs did. And Tseng didn't even get past the second round of qualifiers. So, as it would be, Bergs is more fit to get through this on paper. I believe this will be the second time Tseng's even going to the U.S. Open. Bergs didn't make it past qualifiers in 2023, though, so it could be an even matchup, honestly. I would lean more on Tseng, though, just because of what we've been seeing from Zizou. I don't know if the U.S. Open necessarily snaps him back into form. We didn't get that today from Griekspoor, did we? So I feel like he's kind of in the same boat. He's kind of playing as badly as Griekspoor. But we can move on. We can move on here. As far as that match, I have a hard time being able to tell you what I would think on that one. That one's a little bit iffy. Okay. Now, next match, unless you want to hear... Oh, he's plus 220 on FanDuel. Wow. To win. Tseng. The spread is plus 5.5. I would take that. I would take the spread. Plus 5.5 for Tseng. I like that. I think it'll be a close match, game-wise. Could be a long one. I wouldn't go for the total games over, though. Too iffy. Next, we have Humbert going against Adam Walton. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. But Hugo has not been promising recently, man. Adam Walton, he's been surprisingly good. He's been surprisingly good. This is going to be a bit of a challenge for him, though. I don't think he goes against lefties often. Walton. He went against El Chapo and Los Cabos, remember, in the semifinals earlier this year. Did not do too well. Could not do too much. Played against Terrence Ottman, another lefty, with a great serve. Lost to him in straights as well. If Hugo is playing the way he needs to in Grand Slam form, the way we've seen him in the U.S. Open last year, I mean, he only made it to the second round. And didn't make it past the first round in 2023. Didn't make it past the first round in 2022. Nor 2021. So, Hugo's always compromised, I would like to say, in the first round. And the people that he's losing to, I don't even know if it matters, but, I mean, Tiafoe in the... Wait, no. Peter, I don't even know who that is. I don't know who that is. So, irrelevant. But if he's losing in the first round to people I don't know, could have been an older player, then danger zone, because Walton has been playing really well on the hard courts. I can see Walton covering a set spread here. Look at that real quick. Walton is priced as the same as the Zizou and Tseng price. Like, what is this? Hugo's such a heavy favorite to win. I don't know why. Adam Walton to get a set. Well, I do know why. Hugo is a lefty and he struggles against lefties, so I don't know. I'll probably stay away from that one. I'll stay away from that one. Might play it on DraftKings for a contest. I'll probably take Hugo, but I don't know if I can commit to the money line. I don't feel too strong about it enough to like bet on the money line for him. That's just me though. If you guys do, let me know if you are feeling that confident and tell me why in the comments, please. Always looking for the whys. Always looking for the whys. So, with that being said, we can move on to the very next match, which is going to be Sebastian Baez going against Lloyd Harris. And Sebastian Baez has been looking fucking good out here. He's been looking ridiculously good for no reason. The fact that he came back, the fact that he bageled Botic in that first set in Winston-Salem was quite impressive. Got rid of Pablo Carreño Busta and straights as well. Got decently close to Diallo in the first set and Cincinnati in the Masters. And destroyed Goffin. Not what I was expecting from him at all. I was expecting 2 losses. So, with the way he's been playing, it's hard to say that he's just going to roll over to ranked 353, but former ranked 31, Lloyd Harris, who's 5-6 this season so far, but has a 70% win rate on the hard court. Baez has a 48% win rate. Lloyd Harris had to qualify to get here. Has won all his matches. Only dropped a set so far. Lost to Reedy in Cincinnati, but beat Spazzuri in 3. Spazzuri won in straights today in the U.S. Open. So, if you're beating someone that's winning in straights, you may have some edge, but maybe just a set's worth of an edge. Baez beat Dartery last year in the first round. So, beating Dartery in the first round after seeing how well he won today, definitely you were playing a worse version of him. I can say that much. Lloyd Harris last year, he only participated in the Australian Open. Everything else was challengers on the hard courts, which he won damn near all of them, except for one. He was 16-3 last season on the hard courts, but he lost to Canton Alice, went to 2 tie breaks, and lost them both. Was able to take the first set off of him, and that was it. We did see him in the U.S. Open first round in 2023. He had to go against Alcaraz in the second round, where obviously he lost in straight sets. Not much from him in 2022. He did make it to the quarterfinals back in 2021. Harris did. Lost his Zverev in straights, but he beat Opelka, Shapovalov, Escobedo, and Khachanov in the process. So, very trustworthy 4 years ago, but that is nowhere near what we are at today, is it? I would take that one going over 3.5 sets. But I think Baez would, honestly, with how well he's playing, I would put the set spread on him, like maybe 1.5 set spread plus. So if he does lose, he doesn't lose by 2 sets, which means it probably goes to a 5th, or he wins before that. I would like that for Baez. Crazy enough to say, because I didn't think this guy had any type of level on the hard court this season, but here I am corrected. So let's move right along. We've only gotten through a handful of them. Next we have Martin Damm going against Darwin Blanch, the young 17-year-old lefty looking like Ben Shelton out here. And both of these guys are ranked 400 plus. Damm is 21 years old. He is 35-10 on the hard courts this season. Been playing in M25, M-teens, M15 tournaments. Nothing too crazy. He went to the qualification round of Miami, got smoked by Brandon Holt, but took a set off of him. Other than that, this is his first shot at something fully ATP level. Tried last year he actually made it to the first round, or he made the main draw in Miami last year and retired. Actually beat Tommy Paul due to retirement, and then lost to O'Connell in straight sets. And then went to the U.S. Open, where he lost the qualification 1 round to Mochizuki. So he's 35-10, as I said before. This Darwin Blanch kid is 31-11, 17 years old. 66% win rate on the hard courts, going against a 64% winner. Just out of the left-handedness and the hype around the kid, I don't know if he's going to be able to handle that pressure, but I would like to bet on it. I would like to bet on Darwin Blanch to get the win here. I really would. I want the kid to win this one. And if we're just looking at who he's been playing against, right? He took a set off Muller back in Winston-Salem, but he beat Borna Coric, Valentin Royer, Tristan Boyer, all with only dropping a single set. Never left the court on any match without taking a set from these people. Matter of fact, he's gotten a set at every tournament he's played at challenger level since he started back in early June. This kid has not he's gotten a set in every match he's played. Can't say the same for Damm. So I like Darwin winning, bro. I see him to win at least 2 sets. Minus 250. That's a good little parlay piece. I like that a lot. Him to win at least 2 sets would be what? If he wins 2 sets at the very least, that's covering up plus 1.5 spread. I'm not mad at that. It's minus 250. All right, next we have Alex Kovacevic going against Coleman Wong. And, whew, our boy Kovacevic has not been looking too hot, man. He has not been looking too sturdy. Meanwhile, Coleman Wong got rid of Gigante, Harris, Rodesh, all with dropping a set so far in the qualies in the U.S. Open. He went down to Cancun, and the challengers lost in the second round to Arthur Cazaux. And straights lost to Ugo in Cincinnati in the second round, but beat Petri Pericard, which was a surprising win. I didn't think he was going to be able to beat him, but he really beat him. So far, there's only a 1 win head-to-head, and that was Kovacevic winning earlier in March. In straight sets, 6-2, 7-6 in Capcana. They're about 100 ranks apart. Kovacevic just hasn't been playing too promisingly. Outside of his Michelsen win in the double tiebreak, he's lost about 4 matches now, outside of that 1 win. Losing to Medjedovic, Boyer, and Tiafoe, respectively. And then we have Wong, who's lost to Arthur Cazaux, as I said before, in Humbert. Also, Tomas Barrios Vera, which was in the qualies in Toronto. I like the chances of Kovacevic being pushed a little bit on U.S. soil. I think he will have some support behind him, but statistically, Coleman Wong's going to be playing better on that hard court. And so far, he has not been impressing us on the American soil, has he? We have not been seeing the best of the best of the best from Kovacevic, so I would also lean on a set spread for Wong here. If I can find it. Plus 1.5. Okay. Gosh, so many matches. Him to get a set, Coleman Wong to get a set is minus 500. That's crazy. Yeah, that's an iffy one. Could go over 3.5 sets. Could not as well. I would stay away from that one. I'm not going to touch that one. I'm not going to touch it. I'll leave it alone. Hard for me to say on that one. If you guys do have a plan for that one, please let me know in the comments and tell me why. Please tell me why. And our next match is going to be Federico Gomez going against Jack Draper. Another lefty. Gomez is 5-6 so far on the hard courts this season. Jack Draper is 13-3. They've yet to play each other. We should see something quite obvious here, which is a simple win from Jack Draper. He did make it all the way to the semifinals last year in the U.S. Open. He was no dog in any regard. Made it all the way to the 4th round the year before. And then made it to the... So every year he climbs closer and closer to the top. I don't know if this year this will be the time for him. I would love to see him go against Ben Shelton. Those two lefties going back to back would be great. And on the U.S. soil. We'll see. We'll see. But Jack Draper should take this match in straight sets. He's a stupendous favorite. An absurd favorite, if you ask me. What's he priced at? Do you really care? He's minus 10,000. You got to put down $10,000. $10,000 to profit 100. I don't know what this guy's history is on the hard courts. He has a seemingly decent one. He hasn't played 100 matches, though. 61% win rate. Most of his matches have been on the clay, where he has the same win percentage. But Jack Draper has a 71.1 win percentage on the hard court. So it's nothing to really be worried about. That's why it's so inflated with the price. I don't know if the spread is even worth talking about. I would take the first set under 9.5 games. That's minus 140 for that one. But yeah, there's nothing here, man. Jack Draper's going to win. Stupid favorite. Play it on DraftKings. That way you can get a decent bang out of your buck out of that match. And we can move right along. Next we have our Brazilian boy, João Fonseca, going against our Serbian, Miomir Kecmanovic. And this is going to be their first head-to-head. But would you believe it if I told you they are right next to each other on the ATP rankings? Kecmanovic is 45th. Fonseca is 44th. What does that mean? Does that mean that this is going to be a close match? Let's see. Fonseca is 19-5 this season on the hard court with a 75% win rate. Going against Kecmanovic, who is 16-11 with a 57% win rate. So flip numbers. Kecmanovic took a pretty bad ass whooping from Sebastian Korda, who has a very similar play style to Fonseca. Very snappy forehand, good serve, but he has the same. Kecmanovic is a ball striker, so it'll be interesting to see what these dudes do. I can see it going long. I don't see Fonseca jumping into the U.S. Open doing immense damage. He did make it to the 3rd round, only dropping a set in that process, getting there to Brooksby and Fernley. But did he participate last year? No. He tried to qualify. Couldn't get past Elias Spazzuri. Boy, will that change this year if he has to play him again. He won the U.S. Open Junior. So he is going to be looking forward to coming back and reclaiming some shit. Now that he's in the draw, I am interested to see how well he gets it done here. Fonseca had a loss to Terence Ottman. Clearly the most dominant lefty we've been seeing out here since Jack Draper, because Leonard Tien has a pretty all-around game, but the serve is where Ottman, I think, has people beat. That serve is so gnarly. So, fair that he lost to him. Fair that he lost to him. Excuse me. Losing to Munar in 3 sets. Got a set off Munar is very, 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 very promising, though. Back in Miami. But loss to School Kate in Toronto was a little bit suspicious. Fonseca losing to School Kate was a bit suspicious, I'll say. Kecmanovic losing to Ethan Quinn, not that suspicious. Beating Dartery the way he beat Dartery was quite suspicious, though. Bit sus. It's like, how did you get that good? That fast? What happened? But then he lost to Korda the exact same way he beat Dartery. So I'm like, this is going to be a weird match. It may go long. I feel like it will. I don't feel too confidently about it, though. You know? I want to see. Fonseca's a slight favorite. Finally, he's priced in a place that makes sense. Minus 165. Just because he's priced like regularly, I would like to take him, but I can't do it. I just can't do it. He has not been the bleeding form that he was earlier this year for me to take him in this match. I think Kecmanovic may be the upsetter here. There's a lot of Brazilians in New York, though. So he will have a huge, I'm sure a huge fan base supporting him in this match tomorrow. So we'll see if that can get him through. I couldn't tell you. I will be playing him on DraftKings, though. That'll be the place where he goes. So, matter of fact, let me do that. Make that happen. All right, so our next match is going to be Francisco Comesana going against Alex Michelsen. And these guys have been around each other, but haven't played each other just yet. They're both in Toronto, both in Cincinnati. No luck, no dice in a head-to-head so far. But Michelsen is ranked 24 ranks above him at 30, where Comesana is at 54. Comesana has been playing some interesting matches. He lost against Rublev pretty nastily, but he did beat Opelka in the heat of Cincinnati. Couldn't really do the deed on Dartery, but he was looking damn good. Beat Munar in straight sets. So, definitely a worthy contender on the hard court, if you ask me right now. Lost to Bellucci, who was in some blazing hot form off of a challenger he had won, I think, in South Carolina. Then went to Winston-Salem, I'm sorry, and I guess withdrew or lost. I forget what happened to him. We'll get into him soon, though. But 7-7 on the hard court for Comesana, 14-10 for Michelsen. Michelsen lost to Holger Rune in a tiebreak in 6-3, and lost to Hatchinoff with another tiebreak as well. So when he does go against some top players, he does end up going to a tiebreak. This is going to be his second time coming to the... So sad. His first round matchup last year in the U.S. Open was Elias Pizzuri. Second round was Yannick Sinner, where he bageled him in the second set. So, ouch, right? Made it to the first round back in 2023. Beat Albert Ramos Valinas, but then lost to Nicholas Jerry in the second round. Nicholas Jerry gets the young kids out of here, man. He's like the boogeyman to them, I feel like. All these Grand Slams, Nicholas Jerry just sweeping the floor with these younger players. So, with that being said, I think I would take Comesana on a set spread. I would take him to win a set or win 2 sets in this match. I would think that Michelsen could win, but I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Comesana has a pretty scrappy game. He can get all over the court. He's got a decent serve. Really, really, really nice forehand. Nice touch. We know that we can get some errors from Michelsen, though. So, with that being said, I do feel more comfortable taking a set from Comesana. He's plus 270 to win Comesana. Michelsen is a favorite at minus 335. That's ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. Comesana to win a set is minus 205. I like it. That's a crazy price to take him at. It's minus 132, 138 for it to go over 3.5 sets. I don't know if I like that one more or Comesana to win a set. Surely the minus 335 favorite gets a set, right? Surely Michelsen gets a set. Surely he gets a set, right? He did make it to the fourth round in the Australian Open last year. Earlier this year, I'm sorry. Beating Tsitsipas, McCabe, and Khachanov in the process, losing to de Munar. This guy's going to be no de Munar. That's for sure. But could he be as threatening as a Tsitsipas? Maybe. Has Comesana been in the U.S. Open? He made it to the third round last year. That's further than... He beat Ugo. And had a pretty decent few sets against Taylor Fritz, but he lost in 3. But yeah, he was here last year in the U.S. Open, and he wasn't doing too badly. Won the title in São Paulo right after that in Brazil. But, yeah, if you can get rid of Ugo last year, which is like last year, if you can make it all the way to the third round, and Alex made it to the fourth round in the Australian Open, it should definitely go to a fourth set. It should most definitely. Both of these guys would have to get a set. If I would take the bet of both people to get a set and who wins, I can't tell. I can't be like, yeah, it's Michelsen. Obviously, it just doesn't sound that. It doesn't seem that obvious to me. He did beat TM, which didn't count. Beat Musetti, who hasn't been the best on the hard court this season. But lost to Khachanov and beat Mutet in his third time beating him, or trying to beat him. And was successful in this time. So, I can't fully trust him in the Grand Slam level. I feel like I can trust Comesana a bit more. Just a tad bit more. Even though he lost to Bellucci and Rublev, I think that he's going to be in a little bit better shape going against Michelsen. That's just me. If you're able to beat Munar, Dartery, and Opelka, I think Michelsen should be somebody that you can take a set off of. And we can move on. Next we have Daniel Alahi Galan going against Rafael Collignon. And these guys have actually played each other last year in the Canberra Challenger back in Australia. And Galan won in 3 sets. So far this season, Galan is 6-5 on the hard courts, and Collignon is 0-3. Lost to Basavaredi in straights and Winston-Salem. That's a really, really strong indicator that I'm going to stay away from this match. Galan lost to... We saw him in Cincinnati, but he did beat V. Kopcheva and Taro Daniels. So actually, I am leaning a little bit more on Galan here. I actually like Galan. But how much do I like him? Do I like him at a DFS level? Play him for DraftKings, most likely. He's the slight dog at plus 110. I like it. I like it. I mean, he's got 6 more wins this season on the hard court than Collignon does. Last year, he only made it to the second qualification round, lost against Michelsen. Collignon didn't even attempt to come to this tournament. He's never been to the U.S. Open. This is going to be his first time ever attending. He's never attended a hard court Grand Slam. This will be his first. He tried to qualify in Melbourne and lost in straight sets to Martin Landaluce. So this will be his first full draw performance. I think Galan actually will get rid of him here. Ever so slightly. He's been in the main draw before and went against Daniel Evans back in 2023. Galan did. And he also made it to the third round back in 2022. That was 3 years ago. But he's not new to the U.S. Open. So I think he's going to be looking to stay a little bit longer. I like Galan's chances here. Haven't seen much of Collignon play, though. So I wouldn't put it in the pinned comment for today. I would just tell you to play it on DraftKings. Yeah. All right. About almost halfway through here. We have a match that I'm super excited for. And it is going to be Matteo Bellucci going against Jerry Shang. The two lefties, the Italian and the Chinese, go at it for the first head-to-head. And it's going to be in a Grand Slam. I hope we get 5 sets from them. Jerry Shang has not been the healthiest recently. He had a retirement back in Hong Kong. He had an abdominal tear, if I'm not mistaken, or either a back injury. One of the two. They're going to keep you out. That's going to keep you out for a while. But we did see him play decently well. He didn't look bad when he lost against Echeverry in Cincinnati, but he did lose. And he's on a 4-match losing streak, counting his 2 retirements. So more like a 2-match losing streak. But this dude only plays hard courts. All this guy wants to do is play on the hard court. Very rarely do you see him on the clay. It's been over a year since he's been on the clay. And over a year since he's touched the grass. So he's only been healthy enough to play during the hard court portions of the season. We did see him a little bit last year, right, in the U.S. Open. He made it to the third round where he lost to Casper Ruud in a 5-setter. But he beat Bublik in 5 in the first round. Carballes Baena in straights. He was smoking, man. I'm excited to see Jerry Shang look healthy and come out in this U.S. Open. I'm rooting for him, honestly. And Bellucci, who we do love him as well. The hot serving lefty from Italy with a 66% win rate on the hard court. About 1.05 more than Jerry Shang. But he's 7-10 so far this season. Shang is 3-4. Last season he was 31-18, mostly challenger level. Same with Shang, going around 25-11. I take that back. It was not challenger level. Mostly ATP 250s and above. And he was getting decently far. A few titles, actually. About 1 or 2. Actually, just 1. And that was in Chengdu in China. But, like I said, I think this goes over 3.5 sets. I think they both might be able to get a set off each other. I would like this to go to a 5th set, honestly. I don't know who wins it, honestly. I just am excited for this one. I don't know if I would actually put money on this one, just because I would enjoy to see who ends up winning this. It's minus 176 for it to go over 3.5 sets. It's something to think about. I don't know if I'm going to play it or not. It's not screaming at me to do so. but I'm sure it's going to happen. All right, next we have Francis Tiafoe going against Yoshihito Nishioka. And this is going to be their 7th head-to-head. First time in New York, but it'll be their 5th hardcourt head-to-head. Nishioka being the winner in their last 2 encounters. Back in Dallas in 3 sets this year. And last year in Atlanta in straights. Last time Tiafoe won was back in 2023. Something tells me he's going to want some get back. He's not going to lose 3 times in a row to this person. Especially not with them being on a 5-match losing streak. Outside of beating Jensen Brooksby in DC, which if you didn't count that, there is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 13-match losing streak with about 5 retirements in between there. So Tiafoe should be good to go. We saw him playing mixed doubles. He's seemingly in better shape than how he was looking in that retirement against Holger Rune. And Ugo, he beat in flying colors. Let's check out the current hardcourt history. So 8-11 so far for Tiafoe. Nishioka is 6-10. 60% win rate for Nishioka. 58.97 for Tiafoe on the hard. 24-18 for Tiafoe. 10-17 for Nishioka. The odds are probably mad inflated. Minus 1,100 for Tiafoe to win. They think Tiafoe is going to destroy this guy in straight sets. It's minus 120 to do so. I wouldn't touch that. Every time they have played each other, whenever Tiafoe has won, whenever Tiafoe has won on the hard court, it has been in straight sets. Whenever he has lost in straight sets. So do with that information as you will. That was all years ago. And went to a 3rd setter this year, though. So indoor hardcore Dallas, I would expect a win from Tiafoe there. U.S. Open, round 1, day 2. His day 1, I don't expect him to go anywhere. I don't. He may be the toughest person to go against in the first round, outside of Jannik Sinner and Alcaraz. Just off of the crowd he brings in alone. Tiafoe is a force on the U.S. Open courts all over. Any court he gets on, he is bringing the crowd, he is bringing the energy, they're bringing the energy for him, not for the other person, for him. And that will carry him to amazing heights in New York. He's done it before. He's done it plenty of times already. So don't be surprised if Tiafoe just like snaps on this dude, but also gives up a game or two. Him going over 19.5 total games. What's the set spread at? It's too much. Whenever... let's see. We could get a tie break here, but I don't even think so. What's the spread at? Or how many aces? Let me see. Pablo Carreño Busta beat the dog shit out of him. He got 3 aces on him. Let me see what's Tiafoe's aces at. $15 aces is absurd. All right, we're moving on because that just made me hot. Why are they doing that? If he does it, good on him. But come on, be so for real. All right, our next match is going to be Munar going against Jaime Faria. And this is going to be their second head-to-head. The first one was on the clay, where Faria won earlier this year in 3 sets in Rio de Janeiro. Both of them have been playing on the hard courts decently well. Faria made it to the semifinals, but got bageled and destroyed by Bellucci. But he's been getting his way through the U.S. Open qualies so far. I don't think he stands a monkey-flipping chance against Jaime Munar. I'm going to be outright straight up with you. I'd be surprised if this dude gets a set off of Munar. Munar might win in straights. And he is the absolute favorite, minus 330. Yeah. What's him winning in straights looking like? It might be plus money. Plus 150? It's spicy. But he's been looking good. Got rid of Sonego and Bellucci. And Winston-Salem. Couldn't be Comesana, couldn't be Cerundolo. But he's been looking good on the hard courts, man. I trust him way more than I trust Faria. I watched the Sumter match where he was going against Bellucci and got bageled, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this guy's in the draw for the U.S. Open. He's going to get destroyed. And then this is the person he's going against. Oh, good luck to him. Good luck to him. I like Munar winning in straight sets here. Crazy as that sounds. The only thing that's spoken to me outright all day so far is Munar winning in straights. All right. Next we have Duckworth. James Duckworth going against Tristan Boyer. And boy, oh boy. They have yet to go against each other. Duckworth just came from Cincinnati before going into the qualies, where he's made it to the 3rd round but lost to Pitos, who got beaten by Svita, I'm pretty sure, earlier today. And then we saw him lose to Lee 2 in the first round of qualies in Cincinnati. Beat Jerry Shang, though, in Toronto. So, do with that as you will. Do whatever you got to do. So then we have Boyer, who lost to Lehechka and Blanch and Menchik so far, but has beaten Brandon Holt in Cincinnati in the first round. And Kovacevic as well in Toronto in the first round. Hasn't been anything to write home about recently. Not going to say he's someone to fully count out. These are two that I don't really care much for. As far as like this matchup. This is just like a fodder match. No offense to either of these gentlemen. I just don't care much to see what happens here. But 11-9 for Boyer on the hard court. 15-12 for Duckworth. 61% win rate for Duckworth as well, and Boyer has a 54%. So just on numbers alone, Duckworth should be winning. He's been getting the reps in, but he hasn't had to play a full 3 out of 5 set match. So I'm leaning more on him, just of what we've been seeing from him more recently. Boyer able to get a set off Lehechka is definitely impressive, but it was the first set where he was a bit shaky. So I don't think Lehechka played in the first round. So maybe that's what got him off guard. Can't really say for sure. Duckworth may win that match, though. He is the favorite? Question mark? Yes, minus 140. Boyer is plus 116. Very slight dog, but he is a dog indeed. And we'll push right along. We have our boy. One of our boys is back. And I'm going to start it here. round 1, day 2, and say it. Flavio Cobolli is in the draw. Round 1. And he is here. He is here with us. Do we get him in round 2? Do we get him? We lost him back in Cincinnati in round 2 to Terrence Ottman in a 3-setter. I think that was the match that everybody was like, who's Terrence Ottman? Because last match Cobolli had, he took a set off Ben Shelton and then went to a tiebreak. It was a very close match. Literally right before the Terrence Ottman match, I was like, Cobolli's just as good as Ben Shelton on his best day. So I was like, these guys have literally, as far as these guys have been playing, they play evenly. So a 6-4, 4-6 tiebreak in the third set is a very, very good, like, I make decent amount of mistakes, so I get broken. And I hold it together in the last set. Performance from both of them. So Cobolli's been playing a lot of 3-setters. Every match he's been playing after DC has been a 3-setter. Every one in Toronto and every last one in Cincinnati. That was 4 in total. And Passaro, he's been going through qualies, going against Roca, Pacheco, Mendez, and Sue. Names I don't really know too well. He's ranked 121, going against Cobolli, who's ranked 26. So, I mean, this is going to be pretty open and shut. And if Cobolli he's minus 450, 465 to win. He's a heavy favorite. And they played each other on the clay about 3 years ago, where he beat him in 3 sets in a challenger. But Passaro's 8-4 this season. Cobolli is 6-10. Funny enough. But weird. Hard to say with this Passaro guy. He's only played about 70 matches. Cobolli's played about 100 or so now. So because of the age of these guys, they're both Italians. But the rank, Cobolli's going to get it done. How so? I don't know. Will he drop a set? He has before against this guy. And he's been dropping sets whenever he does play. So, why not? And if you wanted to play that together, Cobolli over 3.5 sets, that's plus 128. That's a good little parlay piece if you wanted to take that. If you have some type of hope for Passaro. Yeah. We can move on, though. All right, now we have Jean-Leonard Struff going against Mackenzie McDonald, who at this point, I can't tell you this without prefacing. Mackenzie McDonald did us so dirty a few days ago, and Winston-Salem, he lost to Dartery in a fashion that he shouldn't have lost in. They went to 2 tie breaks and then lost 4-6. He was up 3-0 and 2 of those sets. Absolutely unacceptable, bro. How do you have that much of a lead and you lose in 2 different sets? You lost the first set, came back, and then lost again. Absurd. I can't trust him after that one time I bet on him. And he's been spotty, so that's on me. But seriously, dude. Dartery was like 1-6 at the time. You made him 2-6 after that. Crazy. Now he's 3-6 this season. Anyway, Struff has gotten through Kazo, Daniel, and Chikde, or Chidek. So far in the qualies, these guys are both ranked over 100. Struff being ranked 145, not too great. But he did make it to the quarterfinals of Kitzbühel. Hasn't played much on the hard court, lost to Navone and Hoffman. So McDonald may be the favorite here, crazy enough. I don't care. I wouldn't take him. I would purely wait for him to start beating this other guy just to take the other guy. Struff is even money. You know how crazy it is for Struff, who's been playing like relatively okay, but like hasn't been on the hard court nearly enough as McDonald to be priced right next to him. That's a sign that you should stay away from it. Both of them should get a set, but I think Struff should win. I'm not touching that match, though. I'm staying far away from it. Not even touching it on DraftKings. And next we have Jensen Brooksby going against Alex Vukic. And these guys have played each other twice before, but nothing too relevant to what's going on. So, back in 2019, they played in Bakersfield, California, in a very low tournament, M25. And then we have Eastbourne earlier this year on the grass, where Vukic won in straight sets and qualies. But I think he ended up going pretty far in that tournament. Brooksby did. Anyway, 91 ranked ATP for Brooksby, 93 ranked for Vukic. Performances on the hard court so far this season have been a bit wishy-washy for both of them, not going to lie to you. Let's see, Vukic lost against Stefan Dostanic, and that was pretty surprising, being as though he was ranked, I think, like 400 something. And then we have Brooksby, who lost to Hachinov, but beat Kazo and Muller on the hard court so far. Couldn't get past Mutet or Nishioka, and struggled a bit in Wimbledon. So Vukic has already beaten Cam Norrie on the hard courts this season. Got destroyed by Taylor Fritz, but beat Gio and Pesci Pericard in 3 sets in DC. So, form-wise, it's hard for me to say. He took a set off Tiafoe. If we're looking at the history that Vukic had last year, he lost in the first round in straight sets to Max Purcell in the U.S. Open. We didn't even see Brooksby in the U.S. Open last year, but he did make it to the third round and lost against Alcaraz back in 2022. So, going 5-7 this season and 9-14 for Vukic, I would leave both of these fellows alone because they have negative records on the hard court, and wish them both the best. And I'm rooting for Brooksby since he's American at the U.S. Open. Hope he gets it done. Won't even be playing him on DraftKings or anything like that. I just hope he gets it done. Best of luck to that brethren right there. Next, we have Ugo Dellien going against Kamil Michelsen. And this is going to be their third head-to-head, but first time on the hard court. They've played in challengers only. Michelsen played him earlier this year in Madrid, beat him in straight sets, 7-6, 6-1, almost bageled him in the first round of the Madrid Challenger. And Dellien beat him back in 2018, so some years ago, 7 to be exact. Dellien's lost to Opelka, Matajan Kopcheva, which he retired to, and Droquet on the clay as well. Lost to Lehechka in 4 sets on the grass in Wimbledon. But we have Michelsen, who went to Winston-Salem and lost to Korda, but beat Borges and Jerry in a pretty convincing fashion. Beat Prismic, Blanchett, and a few others in his route to the title in Poland in that challenger he played there as well. So we know he is in good form to go. Michelsen, hopefully his money line is not too inflated. I would love to take him for tomorrow. Nope, he's minus 2,100. Dellien is 2-3 so far this season. He has a 30% under a 30% win rate on the hard court, going against a 66% winner. 15-4 so far this season. Michelsen from Poland, get it right. Him winning in straights is minus 170. Not even worth it. But, as you know, my pick for that would be Michelsen. The best place to take him would probably be DraftKings. Being as though he's probably going to have a crazy price for him. They're going to probably have a stupid price for him, so might as well take him. Alright, who we have next? We're almost through here, guys. We've got about four or five more. We have Botic van de Sandsculp going against Holger Rune. Excuse me. And this is going to be the third head-to-head. Holger has beaten him every time, but there was a retirement, so that doesn't really count. They both ended in Munich on the clay. Went to a third set 3 years ago in their last head-to-head in the final. So this is going to be their first head-to-head on the hard court. And Botic has been looking very good. He made it to the final in Winston-Salem and lost. But I think he was way more focused on his results he could garner going to the U.S. Open this year. And I think he could garner some good ones. If we get Holger Rune the way we got him last season in the U.S. Open, we're in good shape for Botic to get a set. He lost to Nakashima in straights, but that was during his little lull period where he was a bit of an angry Holger. Temperamental. But it's within trend over the last few years that Holger Rune loses in the first round. He hasn't gotten past the first round since 2022. So, we will see. I would love to think that this goes to a three-setter. I really think Botic can cause an upset here if he's well-rested enough for this match. Just because of the history of Holger here, he doesn't do too well here. And how well Botic has been playing recently. And his history here as well. He's made it to the third round last year, so only dropping a set. He did beat Alcaraz in the second round last year, so don't forget. This was the guy that took Alcaraz out of the tournament last year. If you think that he's going to have a hard time getting rid of Holger Rune, he might, but it's looking like he might not. He may just not. This may be the match where we take over 3.5 sets as well. I think I might like that one quite a bit, honestly. And call me crazy, but if you pair that with Botic winning, it's plus 357. 4.5 on the decimal. I wouldn't play that together, but DraftKings. It's going to be plenty of slips for me for that today. I'm going to have probably 2 different 6 legs on DraftKings for contests today. All right, next we have Dino Prizmic going against Andrei Rublev. He is here. And I said it in the last video, I'm excited for Rublev in this draw he's in, man. He's in a good draw. I think he has the potential to get here, man. Get to the quarterfinals. I hope he can. But so far, Prizmic has lost but one match on the hard court this season, and that was to Kamil Majchrzak in the final and that challenger back in Poland. He has beaten Cassone, Gallardo, and Murray Kubler in 3 sets in his qualification round so far in New York. Rublev has yet to play here. He did lose in 3 sets to Alcaraz, but he took a set off Alcaraz. And beat Popperin in 3 sets, but didn't drop a set to Comesana or Tien in his time in Cincinnati. Played extremely well. Some of the best Rublev playing we've seen in some time. Now that he's here, back in a Grand Slam, I think we're going to get the super, super high quality Rublev right now, honestly. He made it to the 4th round last year, lost to Dimitrov in a 5-setter. And back in 2023, he made it all the way to the quarterfinals and lost against Medvedev in straights. But beat Jack Draper, Rinderknecht, Monfils, and Cazot So a very lengthy draw, and he got through it with seemingly just dropping a set in each match. Rublev is going to be the dumb favorite here, as he should be. But Lord have mercy. He's only minus 330. Holy shit. These guys have yet to play each other. The Croatian Dino Prizmic, I don't know if he's going to be ready to go against... What is this? Is this disrespect on Rublev, or am I just tripping? Prizmic couldn't even qualify last year. He made it through qualies, and now he's plus 260 to beat Rublev in the first round. Am I going to fall for this bait? Because I want to take Rublev. He's iffy. He's on my list. But it's the U.S. Open. And he performs well here. Prizmic does not have much of... This is what is this, second time here? Yeah, you're going to need a few more years in New York before you can just start beating Rublev. I'm sorry. I don't think it's happening. Call me crazy. He's 7-2 on the hard courts this year with an 80% win rate with only about 48 matches played. Rublev has a 65% win rate with over 200 matches won. He's 13-9 this season. Rublev minus 330 is crazy. We're taking that. We have to because of the price, right? We just have to. That's ridiculous. All right, we only got 4 more left, so let's power through this. We have Gabriel Diallo going against Damir Dzumhur, and fuck, I'm so excited for this. This is going to be their first head-to-head. It's going to be in the evening, too. I'm going to be off of work. These two are going to be battling. This is going to be a for-sure over 3.5 sets match. For sure over 3.5 sets. They've yet to play each other, but Dzumhur is someone that if he loses the first set, he's taking the second one. So, even if we get Diallo to win, I think he wins in 4. I really think he wins in 4. Let me find the match. Let me see what the odds are. Diallo is minus 380 to win. That's completely fine. Diallo can win, but he can win in 4. I think Dzumhur can upset this, though. I think Dzumhur can cause a crazy upset here. Diallo has not been looking too great. He was a bit shaky against center. He did turn up a little bit in that second set when it went into a tiebreak. But the draw he's been going against people that have been tough for him. Lost to Majajovic in his first match. He's been winning and losing. So, and it's been the same trend that's been seemingly been happening starting at Wimbledon. Winning a match, losing a match, winning a match, losing a match. It's been happening. So, he's due to win this match, but I do believe that Dzumhur could cause an upset. I do. This guy is just all too good when he is playing really well. And last season, Dzumhur, I don't know if he was in the U.S. Open, but he didn't even make it past qualies first round. He did bagel Alex Bolt, but then ended up losing 6-3, 6-3 in the next sets. So, sad there. But if we go back to 2023, he didn't qualify as well. But the way he's been playing this year, I guess he just had to make the main draw. And I think he'd be excited about that if I was him. This is the furthest he's had the opportunity to play in the U.S. Open, it looks like. First round against Novak Djokovic back in 2020. Lost in straights. Went to the second round against Federer in 2019. In this new era, he's yet to get there. First round loss to Dusan Lajovic. So this will be a first time in some time. But he always gets a set against people that aren't the top guy. I think he even took a set off Federer. Yeah, he took a set off Federer. So If he can take a set off Federer, he can take a set off Diallo in the U.S. Open. That's my 2 cents on that. Diallo surely should win, but I think it's going to go to probably a 5-setter, to be quite frank. These two might give us 5 sets. I really feel like that's a thing here. It's plus 290. It's worth, maybe if you don't have your hands across too many different matches already, sprinkle a little bit on 4.5. That over 4.5 might be the one. You never know. Might be the first 5th setter we see. And then next we have Karen Khachanov going against Nisesh Basavaredi. I say it every time I say the kid's name. I get so pissed off at the draw this kid gets. He gets the most unluckiest draw ever, dude. He dropped out of the U.S. Winston-Salem to go against Diallo. He beat Collignon, Schoolkate, and Rybakov in straight sets and was like, you know what? I'm going to take my ass down to New York and get ready for that. I'm good with this. And I don't blame him. Good on him. This will be his first head-to-head against Khachanov. He's gone against Zverev, Svita, Tien, Medjedovic, Borges. He's had some tough people he's had to face, and this is not going to be any different. I would love to see the kid get a set here. I would love them to see. He got really close to getting some chances to breaking Zverev, but ultimately lost in straights. Khachanov did take a set off Ben Shelton. Did retire against Zverev in Cincinnati, but beat Brooksby and Royer. Obviously, Khachanov is going to be winning this one. His history at the U.S. Open is pretty decent, right? Last year, he didn't get past the first round thanks to Daniel Evans, the legendary Daniel Evans. Same with 2023. He didn't do too well, lost in the first round. Doesn't play too well in New York the past few years, but if you go back to 2022, he made it to the semis. So I think with the form he's been in recently, he may be in the type of form to get to that level again. He's in that part of the draw that just might get him a lot of easy games on his way up. So this may be one of them. Basavaredi, 16-10 on the hard court this season, going against 12-8 Khachanov. Rank alone, he's number 9 in the world. Basavaredi is 106. So surely we get the win from Khachanov here. He's probably a stupid favorite. Minus 410. Interesting. Not as crazy as I thought it'd be. Not as crazy as I thought it'd be. Well, let's move on. In our last 2 matches, we have Sebastian Offner going against Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud has beaten Offner twice now in their head-to-heads. Both been on the clay in the summertime. This will be their first head-to-head on the hard courts, where both of them haven't been playing their best. Lost to Renner Connection 3. I saw that match. I was not too impressed by it. He had a pretty textbook beating from Khachanov, getting broken once in each set and calling it a day. Then we have Offner, who's gone against Kovsheva, Royer, Opelka, and Struff on the clay, losing on a 6-match losing streak so far. Casper Ruud is in a good place to get the dub here. I just don't trust him. I don't care. I don't care what he's been doing. Casper Ruud is in the position always to lose, as I see it. So he's 8-6 on the hard court this season. Offner is 0-3. Lost in the first round last season to Cerundolo. Offner did. And also made it to the second round where he lost against Tiafoe, but beat Borges in the first round. Casper Ruud last season, he made it all the way to the 4th round where he lost to Taylor Fritz, but got a set off of him. Beat Jerry Shang in 5, as we said earlier. And Monfils and Boo in the process. And the year before, in 2023, he lost in the second round to Shang, and beat Emilio Nava in 4 sets. So, sure, I say it goes back and forth. Their last head-to-head was last year on the clay, and it went to 3 sets. Offner's been getting a set in the matches he's been losing recently, and Rue's been getting a set in the matches he's been losing as well. He's been dropping some sets. So, I would look at this going over 3.5, if anything, but I don't care about who wins that one. Just too many matches to care for, and that one just does not fit in the hard drive for tomorrow. But last but not least, does. Riley Opelka and Carlos Alcaraz. I've been waiting to see what their head-to-head history is because I wanted it to be a surprise in this video. And I hope that they have played each other before, but they have not. This is going to be their first time going against each other. Alcaraz is coming off of winning millions of dollars for seemingly not having to play a full set of tennis. If only we all had a life like this. He beat Sinner 5-0 in the first set, and he retired due to the illness. We had Opelka losing to Comesana in 3 sets. Absurd work. I would like to say for this match that who's the hardest serve that he's gone against? Taylor Fritz. I'm just looking at Carlos's. Let's look at Carlos's hard court history and see who the hardest server has been. So far this year, maybe Jack Draper? But that's only because of the left hand, I think. He lost to him in Indian Wells. But last year, let's see. Giovanni and Pesci Pericard. Okay. How many aces did he have in that 2-setter in Beijing? He had 7. Gio had 7. I really want Opelka to get like 20 aces. I think that's a perfect amount. Give me 20 aces on Alcaraz. That'd be so sweet. Do they have those up yet? Let me see. Might not have the aces up just yet for that match. I won't be touching Opelka. He's in the no-touch zone. But we know that his serve can extend matches. We do know that. Even like by default, he can get to a tiebreak in every match. So with that being said, Alcaraz's total games is at 19.5. Do we think we get one game where he gets pushed to 5 games? One set where he gets pushed to 5 games? Do we? What do we think? What do we think? Do we think Opelka gets under 15 games won? I think he does. I wouldn't touch it. Alcaraz winning in straights is minus money. The spread. Let's look at Opelka's history in the U.S. Open. Let's go back some time, though, huh? Didn't play in 2022. Made it to the 4th round in 2021. Lost in the first round in 2020. Second round 2019. Couldn't qualify 2018. First round last year to Musetti. He had 23 aces in a 4-set match. That's just one thing I want, dude. Give me 20 aces from Riley. In a Grand Slam, he's good for that. At the very, do the one thing that you got to do, bro. Take him for the aces, if you do want to take him. But I would like to think that Alcaraz may drop a set here. Going back this hardcore tournament, this hardcore season, his first match going against someone with a little bit of volatility to their game, which I'm not saying that is Opelka, he just has a volatile serve. He has been a bit loose in that first round that he comes in on. And in Cincinnati, he dropped that second set to Jumhor. He almost dropped the second set to Shevchenko in the first round in the Australian Open. If we go back to the U.S. Open last year, he dropped a set to Lee too. He always seemingly drops a set in that first. He had a retirement from Kempfer in 2023. Sebastian Baez retired in the third set. He was beating his ass. But it went 7-5, 7-5. It was getting close. He was getting close to getting a set off of him. I like Alcaraz dropping a set here as some smoke. Like, Alcaraz winning 3-1. I'm sure there's no money in him winning any other way. You can't take his money line. You can't take him winning 3-0. You would have to root for Opelka to get a set here. And that's just 6 to 7 games from the lad. So I'll look into that smoke, but I think I do like it a bit. And that does conclude all of the matches for tomorrow. Sorry that took a while. I know this was like damn near watching a fucking movie. The movie of the first round, day 2 with Big Gator. Roll the credits. Just want to thank you guys for showing up. And make sure you pop into the comments and tell me what you guys are playing for tomorrow. And make sure you also check out the pinned comment, see what I'll be playing, as I say in every video. And let me know who you're looking forward to for tomorrow's matches, because I'm looking forward to a bunch. We can talk more about the draws as they come out and get updated as the days go by. You guys can put it in the comments. You guys can put it into the Discord as well. Don't forget that I have the Discord. The Discord is a very lively place. We have almost 100 people in the Discord now. So get in there. It's free with more free plays and picks all day. So if that's what you're looking for, it's the place to be. You're right where you belong in this channel, at this channel, with me, in the Discord, on the books, on the DFS, wherever you need it. The Gator will be here. All right, so I kind of want to go through everything else real quick. So I do, just looking at the stuff that I took down, a lot of over 3.5 sets, some money lines, but I might be going for the over 3.5 sets. That makes the most sense. There's about 4 of them I like, but it'll be probably one of those being played with someone's money line, or probably 2 sets of that to have a little bit of back and forth. It'll be there for you guys in a little bit. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for it, though. I am working tomorrow early, so I will be unavailable. But I was in my Discord today streaming matches for a handful of people. If you guys are unaccessible to the matches, please hop in. And what else do we got? I thought there'd be more matches, but there isn't. So that's good on us. We only had to cover 24. I thought we'd be doing 20 or 32 a day, but they have been gracious with us. Otherwise, these videos would be super long. But I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Take care. Peace.